Hi crafty friends, this is Jarle with a birthday project for you today. I made this colorful birthday shaker card and I'm happy to share the process with you. When I think of birthdays, I think of balloons. So I used the outside-in stitched balloons and the balloon frames from Lawn Fawn. I have this gorgeous paper pad from My Favorite Things here called Rainbow Love. And I picked one of these beautiful papers for the front of my card. And then I trimmed it to A2 size, which is 4¼ by 5½ inches. Then I took this medium-sized balloon from the outside-in stitched balloon set from Lawn Fawn. I placed it in the middle of the panel, more to that top 1/3 of the panel. I adhered it with some purple tape and I ran it through my die cutting machine. This cuts out a perfect balloon and I will save that inside piece for another card one day. Then I'm doing exactly the same on the left and on the right. So I'm placing the balloon die on the panel again, adhering it with purple tape and running it through my die cutting machine. So you'll see here that I have a top piece and a bottom piece of card panel. So at this moment the two pieces are not attached. So now I'm taking a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, again in A2 size, and I'm placing a pencil mark where the balloons begin and where they end. This cardstock will go behind the front, and this will be the background for my shaker. You will see that in just a moment. I'm taking out my Distress Oxides in all the rainbow colors. I have festive berries, dried marigold, scattered straw, cracked pistachio, tumbled glass and shaded lilac. I think this is my favorite rainbow color combination. For my ink blending, I'm using my blending brushes and I'm inking onto my trusted Bristol Smooth cardstock. As I've mentioned before, this is my go-to cardstock for ink blending, so the blending itself is very easy. Now for this card, I'm not being too secure about this because it will be behind all those shaker bits. So if there are any hard edges somewhere, it won't be as noticeable as if it were an ink blended card front. So I started with the red and I'm just working my way through all these rainbow colors. I do go back and forth a bit between colors to get a good blend, but really it doesn't matter that much. I was struggling more with the amount of colors that had to go on to create a full rainbow. You don't want the individual colors to be too white or else you won't get all the colors on there. But even if you don't get that shaded lilac there or something, it doesn't matter. Just make it as colorful as you can. That's the basic idea behind this card, actually. As you can see, I didn't actually have to blend the whole panel. That's why I placed these tick marks earlier, just to know which section of the background will be visible once the card front is attached. Time for the acetate. I took a sheet of acetate and trimmed it to A2 size, so 4¼ by 5½ inches. It's best to make it the exact size as your card. Now, since the card front is now in two pieces, you want to attach those on that acetate and get the measurements of the card right at this point. So when you're trimming the acetate to A2 size, you're good to go because you have the exact size you want. I did adhere them, or I adhered my two card pieces with tape runner and I pressed down firmly. And now this card is actually taking form. To create the shaker part, I'm putting foam strips all around the balloons. These are the Heavy Doodle foam strips. So above and below the balloons, but also on the left and the right edges. And this will be kind of the well that the shaker bits can dance in. The foam strips on the left and right will be visible on the front at this point, but I will worry about that later. I will put a frame around my card panel at the end, so that will be fixed. Now you do see me making a mistake here. I also needed to put the same thickness of foam on the bottom piece of this panel as well. Or else it won't hold so well and it won't be a very sturdy card. But you will see me fixing this later. But if you want to recreate this card, at this point you want to put foam strips just about everywhere. I just put the strips here to create the well, but you do need to put strips on the bottom and on the top as well to create sturdiness. After peeling off the liner paper, I'm pouring in my sequins. This is a lovely sequin mix from Picket Fence Studios called Birthday Candles. Then I also have some leftover sequins from another sequin mix called Rainbows, I think. So that's this one right here. And I'm putting these in as well. And when there's a decent amount of sequins inside, I'm putting on that rainbow blended panel on the top. Do make sure to press it down firmly here so that the sequins are trapped between the acetate and the background panel. Here you can see how all the colorful sequins dance around inside their balloons. I'm already loving how it's turning out. Now I'm taking that stitched balloon frame, but it's here that I realized that my card wasn't sturdy because I didn't add enough foam tape on the bottom. But no worries, I'm just lifting up the card and then placing foam strips behind again, peeling off the liner paper, and all is good now. No one will ever know I messed up. Off camera, I die cut 3 balloon frames out of 3 colors of Lawn Fawn cardstock. I think it's the Sticky Notes, Mermaid and Guava, I think. So I'm putting liquid glue on those frames and then placing them on the front panel on that acetate. First I'm doing the left and the right balloon, and then that middle yellow one will be there on top. So I'm doing that frame last. Also, it's a little bit tricky to adhere it to that acetate. So take a few stamping blocks and place them on that balloon frame until the glue dries. And this will make sure it's all adhered very nicely. Now on the left and right, those balloon frames are sticking out, so I need to trim off the excess with my scissors. And this kind of finishes off the balloons. And did you see that foam strip peeking on the left and right edge on that acetate? I needed to cover that, so I did this with a stitched rectangle frame in a purple color. I did use 3 colors before I was happy with that purple one. I think I die cut a rainbow frame and then a black frame, but I all didn't like it. So the purple one made it extra colorful, so I was happy with that. And balloons need balloon strings, right? So I die cut those out of black cardstock. It's a super fine string, so it's not so easy to put glue onto it. And what I like to do is I place down a few dots on the back of the string, and then I lightly push that string on a scrap piece of paper. And this makes sure there's no excess glue on your card. It will be just sticky enough to adhere everything, without glue turning up everywhere. Because I really hate it when that happens. I chose the It's Your Birthday sentiment out of the Offset Sayings Everyday Sentiment sets. I placed a piece of Transotype Perfect coloring paper in my Misty, and I stamped the sentiment with Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink. I will be coloring the inside letters with Copic markers, so I needed a good quality paper and an alcohol-friendly ink. I love these types of sentiments because you can color them in with just about any color you want. And of course, I had to color them in rainbow colors. For this, I took out 2 markers for every color. So I think I just took the lightest markers that I had in the different rainbow colors. So a red and an orange, a yellow, a green, a blue, and a violet shade. And you can see all the colors I used on the screen right now. Then I took out my trusted everyday sentiment banners and die cut the sentiment. First I wanted to adhere it with liquid glue, but since I had 3 frames, layered on top of each other, I actually had to pop it up with some foam squares. But I didn't mind that really. I love dimension on cards. To give it that extra festive look, I did choose to add some sequins all around the card front. I think this one is from, or these sequins are from Buttons Galore. I think it's called Spring Break. So I played around with the placement a little bit, and when I was happy, I put on dots of liquid glue and I placed all the sequins on the front. And with this magic wand from Pink Fresh Studio, this process goes so easy. I always struggled with these things, but the magic wand is just sticky enough for this purpose. I folded a white card base and I adhered my shaker card on top. And this finished off my shaker card. I'm actually super happy with how it turned out. It's festive, it's colorful, and for me it actually screams birthday. So I really can't wait to send this one out. Thank you so much for being with me today. Stay tuned for another card project very soon. Have a great day. Bye!